Listen.
How come we can't use our real name?
So if any of you get caught, you can't rat out the others.
Yeah, dumbass.
You asked the same question in the van.
So Abigail's the newest horror movie that spoils itself in its own trailer, so if you're curious, go in not knowing anything. But if you did click this, it is an explainer, so spoiler alert, she is a vampire. It's meant to be a remix of Dracula's Daughter, where a crew gets hired to kidnap this little girl before realizing that it's actually a trap for them. She picks them off one by one. Personally, I don't think it's better than the director's first movie, Ready or Not, but it does have a lot of similarities to that one, and even some Easter eggs that I'll get into, but it definitely is way bloodier.
I was not prepared for the amount of blood. What the f?
They've got more guts on set than Olivia Rodrigo. They had blood cannons shooting out gallons, and they legit had a special vacuum just to mop it all up. So if it interests you, I think it's worth streaming for the gore, because they do go all out, even though I felt the story and the characters were a little dusty. Let me explain.
What do we know about vampires?
That they're not real.
So the movie opens up with this little girl named Abigail practicing ballet as this crew gets ready to kidnap her, and right away they're hitting you with Easter eggs. They're combining the music from the original Dracula with her dancing to Swan Lake. The estates have the same symbols in their front gates, and even Melissa's character is called Ana Lucia Cruz because that translates to cross, and it's both a character from the novel and also Van Helsing.
One of my favorites, because this was one of my favorite movies growing up, is Van Helsing. The main villain is Dracula in that movie.
That said, I don't think they ever say the name Dracula though, so they were probably trying to avoid that for IP credit. The group is made up of strangers, with Sammy being the hacker that helps them break into the house, Peter's the muscle, Rickles is the shooter, Dean is the getaway driver, Frank is supposed to be the mastermind, and then we have our main character Joey, that's the one who comes in to inject the girl in her sleep.
Hey, no one said it was a kid.
Oh, no one said that? It's a fucking kid. You wanna walk?
Oh, so no problem that it's a human, just that they can't vote? Girl, didn't you see that child-sized body bag? After creeping in like OVO, Frank decides to pull the Cosby before Abigail stabs him with a mini stake. Oh, fuck! Also known as a number 2 pencil. They kidnap her and end up escaping one mansion just to go to another, which I thought was hilarious. And that's where they meet Lambert, who set all this thing up, played by Esposito, who's surprisingly a villain this time around.
Give him over.
In the bag. Bullshit, man.
Come on, y'all are bad guys and none of you walk around with burners? After confiscating their phones like it's homeroom, he tells them the hard part is over and they just gotta babysit. But of course, they don't realize that they're stuck there from dusk till dawn.
I remember going to Matt and being like, Matt, I feel like I'm in a different movie than everybody else.
Honestly, all the characters do. It turns out that each one of the actors had the same worry, and it does kind of show. They set up a betting scene where they just stop to explain the characters, and that's something they do a couple times in the movie. We learn that Frank is a disgraced detective who's now taking odd jobs, Rickles is an ex-Marine, Pete's a career bully, Sammy's a rich kid hacker with mommy issues.
It's all because of Matt and Tyler. They didn't say no. I was like, I think I should get tattoos. Suddenly I have sleeves. So I was like, I want to put fuck mom on my hands because my character has a bad relationship with her parents. And the hair and makeup was like, it might be a bit much.
And it turns out Dean is not an ex-anything, but he is able to call out that Joey's a recovering addict who's taking on this heist just to get back with her son. And we see him on her phone's wallpaper, which is the thing she uses to never call him on.
I knew it. Junkies never share candy.
In other words, the main theme is that they're all the monsters in this movie. Joey goes in to check on Abigail since she's the one who's supposed to be talking to her, and to make sure she gets top billing, she just takes off her blindfold. And listen, Alisha really is a standout in this movie. Without her, you don't have anything. She even said that she played the character 2 ways, one being the innocent version that is Abby, and then the vicious one that is Abigail. And that's how she introduces herself.
What's his name? Mine's Abigail.
I can't tell you his name.
You just know she's already playing her like a fiddle, because why would an 11-year-old bring up Joey hiding a child like it's Meet the Gramps?
I'm sorry about what's gonna happen to you.
This man then walks in and forgets to cover his mouth because he expected her to still be cuffed, and he starts having an interview with a vampire without even realize it, but he learns that she's the daughter to this big, mean, blood-sucking mob boss known in the underworld as...
Christophe Lazar.
Who? Now they're all creeped out, but not scared enough to let go of the $7 million per that they were offered. So, they're willing to put up with this fright night. We then get to see around the mansion with a bunch of hidden clues. We see that Rickles tries to partner with Joey, Peter's taking a rest day, and Sammy's watching cartoons while Dean tries to have a sleepover.
What the fuck?
Poor guy just ends up boxing Mickey instead. Even though he hoped him and Sammy would be the only lovers left alive, he ends up being the first to go, getting ahead of the kill count when they find him decapitated. Man, Angus really did leave too soon. The group then goes back to question the girl as they realize that they've been trapped inside.
Stand back.
boy really thought he was still Proximus.
Enjoy this wonderful day.
Right.
Even though Rickles is ripped, he ends up being the next to get shredded, and now they all start turning on each other. They rush into Abigail's room so they can just all show their faces to her, and I love how Abigail just gets bored midway through the movie. It just reveals that she's a little vampire.
What the fuck? How the fuck did she get out of those cuffs?
Frank goes full Rick Grimes and fires a headshot, painting the walls with her, and she just wipes it off like it's Ash Wednesday. Obviously, the dead don't die that easily, so Joey empties the clip in this scene, and this girl just dances it off. What's crazy is that Abigail did her own choreography. They said Alisha had contacts on, meaning that everywhere she was going, her vision was kind of blocked. They had her doing dances and jumps, but I gotta say her biggest stunt was easily hiding that accent.
The teeth I get to put in and the contacts as well and all the blood, like, it's a completely different person. What can I say? I like playing with my food.
Honestly, I don't think this girl's had a bad movie role. Like she's gonna be the future.
When she's dancing with the headless body and she drapes the hand on her face, that was just Alisha during a tech rehearsal, just like playing around and like, wouldn't this be funny? And as I'm staring into the neck, and we're like, oh my god, you are brilliant.
Damn, she really made this movie. After explaining vampires and how to beat them, they just get beat. And I really like how loyal Pete keeps doing this double crossing, only to get whack-a-mole with his own chain.
Peter! I got a splinter on my finger, a huge one!
They then mess around and find out, with Peter getting dropped down the stairs, Frank getting dropped down the stairs, and then Sammy getting dropped into a pool filled with the past victims. Again, the practicals in this movie are pretty good because they said that they filled this empty pool up to the brim with human limbs. Like, they said they had so many body parts everywhere, it looked like Sid's backyard. Sammy then gets bit right before they sedate Abigail again.
Hey, what's gonna happen to me?
Oh, no.
And I just had to do a side note here. It took me a while to realize who Sammy reminded me of, and then once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it.
And I've had a lot of fun playing this role because she's got all these tattoos on, like, even a neck tat. Come on. Like, so sick.
So sick. As you guys are going through and killing monsters, what's the theme song that's playing?
Karma by Jojo Siwa. Just kidding.
They then lock her up in the basement, which keeps taking advantage of this mansion because the production design is pretty great. Like, not only is it massive, but they show you murals and suitcases that hint at all of the other victims that came before this movie. So in a sense, it's like her little vampire diaries for all the past guests she had over for dinner. Turns out that she collected them all there together on purpose in order to take them down because of their criminal past, all having an effect on her daddy's empire. And now she has them turning on each other until Sammy turns on them. Abby goes from let me in to let me out as she controls Sam's body from below, taking out Peter, and then having a, whole dance session just to pad out the runtime. She then chases him through the house with the surviving two killing her with sunlight and having her explode just like the kills from their first movie. Their next big reveal is that Esposito is also a vampire, and he makes out with Frank in order to turn him into a vamp henchman too.
Bite me.
But then, ready or not, he takes him out also. Now, I'll give Dan Stevens this. The man has been on a run taking some of the wildest roles, because here he was ready to punch a child and did shoot her. In Cuckoo, he's the cuckoo who keeps sedating kids. And in Godzilla, the dude was just chilling because he's best buds with the director.
I think originally this role was written for like a 60-year-old Italian-American, and the character's name was something like Leo Tangredi or something. It was something very Italian-American. And it was Matt and Tyler's idea to come up with a combination of Adam Wingard and Simon Barrett with Adam Barrett. So there's a nice little Easter egg for them with great love and respect.
Once he turns, he goes full Morbid time, with these two having to team up. And it did remind me a lot of the last Scream, with them having to do that double-decker fight, always pinning someone so that they could direct some action over here on this side. But the one thing I did not see coming was that Frank's character is inspired by a Tim Robbins sketch.
Best show
Real
ever.
piece of shit.
Probably just doesn't like me because I used to be a piece of shit.
He likes you. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. I know I used to be a piece of shit. I don't give a rat's ass.
That's not slicked back, that's pushed back.
You look like you have slick back hair now.
You think this is slicked back? This is pushed back.
Not only did they base his lines and his hair on that character bit, but I did not realize that the boys actually cast Tim Robbins in a secret Scream cameo.
I think you should leave.
Maybe they'll do coffin flops in the sequel. They then dupe Frank by writing in the script that he only gets super duper human strength, not mind control yet, and so they pop him. That's when Papa comes home to a discovery of witches and his whole house covered in food.
We didn't know how much blood was gonna come out and get on us. And I literally, it went inside my mouth, in my nostrils. I couldn't open my eyes. Like, there was just so much.
In the end, Papa Drake lets her go since she pinky promised his daughter. Joey gets to leave looking like she just finished a Scream movie as she lives long enough to see Twilight. Thank you all for checking out this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. There was also a Ready or Not Easter egg that I noticed that's supposed to be their great-great-great-great-grandfather from the Dumas and Ready or Not. So it's going to be interesting to see how they built that out, or, you know, what worlds or sequels they end up doing, because there's a lot of parallels with this, since both of them end with the leads covered, just soaked in blood, and then either hitting a lollipop or a cigarette. But I'm curious to see what other ideas they have in store, because I think they could do like a whole 30 days of night shifts where she just like picks off different crews one by one. But I know Universal pulled this one early because it didn't do so well.
I just don't scare easy, so when I do, I pay attention.
Other than that, I'm curious to know your thoughts down below about this one or any other scary movies you want to see covered. I know Melissa does have a horror rom-com called Your Monster that I thought was pretty cute from Sundance, but let me know what other spooky LMEs you want to see a video on. That said, until next time, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or Abigail will come get you.
I got him!
Sammy, those are fucking onions.